Hi everyone, this is Peggyann Kennedy with Write Better Together, and joining us today is my wonderful co-host slash mother, Kimberly Drymon. Say hello,
Hello.
Kimberly Drymon.
Hello, Kimberly Drymon.
It feels so weird calling my mother Kimberly Drymon. Any other time, it would probably not be a good day for me. But so this is actually the very first podcast, Kimberly Drymon, since actually the first podcast of the year, which is pretty cool. Um, I did want to say a little bit about that just so that everyone knows. I think I mentioned it in the newsletter, but in case there's someone out there who doesn't get the newsletter, I'm planning to do 3 podcasts per week instead of one longer one. And I want to do Mechanics Monday, in which we focus on the mechanics of writing, and also Writer Wednesday, in which I interview a writer, and Fun Friday, in which we do something fun and interesting and hopefully get out of our bubbles. And before I continue on, I'd also like to say a little about John Myers, and I'd like to say that this is in memory of him. I want to keep this podcast going for him and for the Write Better Together community. And I'd also like to say a quick thank you to Emily Brooks and David Corbley for their support and help in all of this. And for Betsy Kulikowski, too. She sent a really sweet, supportive email.
So, Peggyann Kennedy, tell our viewers what you've been up to lately.
Okay, it's been a crazy year. 2025 has been crazy. I actually got my gallbladder removed, and I finished my first semester of college of math. I'm getting my master's degree. So yeah,
Sounds good.
I've been busy.
You have been busy.
You've been busy too. We've been running around doing a lot of Christmassy stuff too, which
Yes,
was
and
fun.
you won't see this until after Christmas, but we still have our Christmas up, as you see in the background, because we're still celebrating.
Amen.
So, okay, Peggyann Kennedy, what's our topic for Mechanic Monday?
Okay, so our topic today is planning. And some of you are writers, so you know a lot of this, but for those of you who may be just starting out and just kind of novices in writing, this is for you, and hopefully for anyone actually, whether you're new to writing or whether you've been writing for years. If you get stuck on writing, or if you just kind of need some encouragement to keep writing. So, one thing that really stuck out to me in WriterCon that I like to talk about are the three types of writers. There's the plotter, and then the pantser, and the plantser. So that really intrigued me.
For those of us that don't understand and we're not seasoned writers, would you explain those more to us?
Okay, so the plotter is the person who plans out everything, all the different details of the story. Like that person knows the character's shoe sizes, their favorite hobbies, all of that fun stuff, and you know the character settings and what's going to happen and when. You have the whole story planned out, and then the pantser is the person who just kind of starts writing and doesn't really plan anything, just goes with the flow, I guess.
Flies by the seat of the pants.
Yes, that. And the plantster is a little bit of both. Someone who may kind of have a general vague idea of what then they want the story to be, but they also just kind of keep writing. So I feel like I'm a bit of a plantster. I might have that vague general idea, but then I just want to keep writing, and then I end up getting stuck, as always. But what would you say your writing style would be, Kimberly Drummond? Would you be a plotter, plantser, or a pantser?
I would definitely be a plotter. I plot everything. I'm constantly running around with notes in my hand and note cards. So I know I would have a room that would have all these notes all over the walls, all about my plot and my characters. And that way I wouldn't lose myself and get lost in the story.
Yeah, you'd be the person with like yarn or something,
Yes.
string,
Yes, I
going from
would.
place to place
Yes,
on
I
bulletin
would.
boards.
I
That,
would.
that's really cool. So the main thing about that to me is just that there's a writing style for everyone. Everyone has their own process, and you just kind of have to figure out what's best for you, and just kind of keep experimenting. And if one thing doesn't work, try something else, and yeah, just keep writing. And
What happens if you get stuck when you're planning?
There are actually a lot of different things you can do to kind of to get yourself back on track or to give yourself some ideas. One thing that I like to do, or that some people like to do, is both listing and free writing. Listing, you can just list a whole bunch of random ideas, however crazy or strange they sound. That might give you some ideas. And also free writing, just set a timer and write for maybe 5 minutes or 15 minutes, however long you want, and just write about anything related to your story or not. And that might give you some ideas.
You know how much I love to Google. You can always Google ideas as well. Some story starts or prompts. Find a website maybe or an app that helps you with those things.
Yeah, I always love looking up like creative writing prompts. For some reason, that helps me sometimes, and it'll help me brainstorm an idea for a story too. I used to do that a lot in the Navy when I had free time in the ship's store. But yeah, you can also read a lot. Reading helps. You can get ideas from other stories, and
without stealing now.
Exactly. Yeah, be careful not to steal.
So also listening to music, that helps. You can get some ideas for your stories as well as stop the writer block, relaxes your brain, and you get out of that cycle.
Right, and for some reasons, some types of music, like Lindsey Sterling, I really like her instrumental music. It kind of takes you to like a fantasy place for me, and it helps me kind of get into that zone. And another thing I like to do a lot is ask a lot of what if questions. Like, what if this character was doing this? What if I killed this character off? Or what if this character had to leave the story for some reason? Or even just out and about asking questions about random people. Like, what if that guy at Walmart was a time traveler from the future or something? And so yeah, that actually has helped me a lot in some of my stories. If it's all right, I'd like to share. Yeah. So I was talking to a counselor one time, a psychologist friend of mine. He helped me for free, and he knew that I like to write a lot, and so he told me to just kind of write how I felt and put it all into words, and so I did. And I wrote about a lady in a house, and this house tracked her basically, and the house symbolized kind of her heart, I guess, or her mind. And so after writing that part, I got really stuck because I didn't know what would happen next as I needed to expand the story. But I started thinking, what if there was another woman who came into that house after her, who bought that house, and who found that first woman's diary? And what if everything that happened to the first woman happens to the second woman? So that kind of started helping me kind of get the ball rolling.
So just generate a bunch of what ifs to help you.
Right,
That's exactly a good idea.
Just keep asking yourself questions.
And taking a break. Sometimes, again, you can get stuck in that cycle and you're spinning your wheels. If you just get outside, you go to a museum. John Myers often mentioned get out of the bubble. It's good for our mental health and physically too, just to get outside and do something and meet other people. So you can go to the zoo or a museum and you meet other people. You can people watch and you get good ideas that way as well.
Yeah, I really love going to the museum, just being around all the ancient artifacts and all. It just gives me so much inspiration, makes me want to run home and start writing immediately. But yeah, I do love people watching too. There's so much story potential with people watching. It's amazing. But ultimately, just get your words out on the page. You can edit and take out all the kinks later, but just start writing whatever you want.
I have a question too. I meant to ask earlier, and I'm sorry, but when you were talking about plotter and pantser and plantser, the first time I heard those terms with you and John Myers, I'm like, what are those terms? When did you first hear them?
Oh, plotter, plantser, pantser. I think the first time I heard them was at WriterCon. Either the WriterCon retreat or the conference itself. I think it was the conference though.
Tell us more about the conference before we go more into the terms.
Okay, so I was sitting, I think it was a panel that I was listening to, or one of the breakout sessions. One of the ladies that was speaking was talking about those three terms and kind of explaining them, and I just thought it was really fascinating.
So you didn't first hear these terms when you were studying as a creative writing major at the University of Tulsa? They didn't teach these terms?
They actually didn't. I mean, they honestly really didn't teach much about the process itself. I mean, I always kind of knew that everybody has a different process and that some people like to plan and some people don't, and mix, but I never heard those terms before. It's really fascinating. TU honestly just taught more. They taught more like literary writing, sort of, not really like the creative fantasy kind of writing that we like. That was kind of something interesting to me.
So would you recommend a writer visit the Writers Con?
Oh, definitely. I will recommend WriterCon for the rest of my life every single day. It really changes a lot for you. You get so much information. You get to meet so many other writers, and you get so many contacts. It's a great place for networking. And
Who puts it on?
William and Laura Bernhardt. I'm sorry for almost forgetting y'all, but they are the best. They are very kind, and they've really helped me out a lot.
And they do have a great website. You can check them out, WriterCon.
They do. They have a lot of books for sale too, so check them out. They're really good writers, and they write a lot of how to write books too, so that's good.
So for our Mechanics Monday, what are some future topics you're going to cover?
Let's see. I wanted to do planning today as the first Mechanics Monday of the year because it's kind of the beginning, so I figured I'd start from the beginning, if that makes sense. But in the future, I'd like to do a little bit of everything, just kind of editing. We're also kind of talking about what to do when you're stuck today. Maybe we could talk about some of the plot structure parts of the story and like say the climax and resolution and rising action, that sort of thing. A lot of us who have been writing for a while know that stuff, but there are probably a lot of people who might be new to the show or new to writing in general who may not know that. So it'd be kind of interesting and fun to go through.
If you have anything subject you'd like covered, please just comment.
Yes, please do. I'd be happy to go through any of it that y'all want. So yeah, and please comment too whether you're a plotter or pantser or plantser too. We're really interested to hear about that and your writing and how you write.
And we might share your comments in a future podcast.
Definitely, definitely, I'd love to do that. So yeah. Also, please like and subscribe and comment. Please let us know if you enjoyed this or what other future things you'd like to hear from us, or any topics or ideas for fun Fridays you might have, or writers you'd be interested to see. And also, please join me Wednesday for a fun conversation with Hannah Moa, who is a TU alumna like me, and she has some really fascinating thoughts and insights. I look forward to hearing from her. She'll be talking a little bit about her thoughts on WriterCon and her experience at TU. And yeah, some of her own stories as well in her writing process. So we'll get to see that.
It is a great Writers Wednesday interview.
It is. We're looking forward to it. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember, we couldn't have done it without you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.